Hey guys, today's topic is Okay, it's not Jeopardy, really. It's living in the now, living in the here and now. I think this is a awesome topic because this is what I am all about: living in the moment, for the moment, with the future in mind. Okay, not just living for the moment, because if you're only living for the moment, you're not really living in the now. When you're living in the now, you are able to project what you are doing in the now to be to your progress and progress. I can talk today, and you live for your progress and for what will help you to move forward in life. That is living in the now. So I think a lot of people let themselves be held back by fear. I hear this all the time, okay? That I wish I could go to school, but I don't know how I'm going to pay for it, or I don't know how I'm going to make it all work. I wish that I could get a job, but I can't because there's no job openings, no one wants to hire me anyway. Therefore, why fill out applications? I wish that I could recover, but since I know that I'm going to mess up and relapse, why even try? Okay, that is an example of not living in the now, or basing our past experiences, using our past experience to base our future expectations and outcomes, which I think is normal. And it's, how can you not have fear about the past, because we have our relationships and experiences shape our perceptions of today and our current relationships or future relationships. So the only way to overcome that is to challenge that and to be okay with feeling uncomfortable. And that's really what living in the now is learning to be okay with uncomfortable. And let me tell you that if you're really living in the present and you're really doing good in the world, you will probably not have a moment that's comfortable. It'll be exciting. It may be exciting. And it'll be rewarding, but not comfortable. And let me tell you, okay, see my life. I have 3 kids. I'm in school full time in graduate school. I've been practicing as a midwife for 11 years, and I still am seeing a few clients, even though I'm in school right now. And I run marathons. I run ultra marathons. I box. I do all kinds of things that I like doing because I'm living in the present and I'm enjoying what I'm doing. But there's nothing about it that's comfortable, because if it were comfortable, I probably wouldn't enjoy life. I get bored with comfortable, okay? And that's the problem, is when we get comfortable with life, if we're feeling completely comfortable, there's something wrong with the picture. Really, seriously, there is something wrong with the picture if you feel comfortable, because you're not challenging yourself. You're not challenging your growth, because if you're really growing and you're really progressing, you are not going to feel comfortable. And that is just a fact. One of the things that I'm being challenged with right now is I went out and I found a sports nutritionist who also specializes with eating disorders and was an Olympic athlete herself. And I had no idea how to eat for my sport. I didn't know that I didn't know how to eat for my sport. I just, you're taught intuitive eating, but when you're a high endurance athlete, intuitive eating by itself doesn't always quite cut it. There's a lot that you need to know about performance and nutrition. And let me tell you, it is not comfortable. I'm eating more food than I have ever eaten in my life. And it's a challenge. It's a challenge to change that mentality. Even though I wasn't, I'd say I'm significantly recovered, but it's still a challenge when you've had food issues. So that's not comfortable, but it is helping my performance. It is helping me build lean muscle, and you get more comfortable with it as you go. But when you start to get more comfortable, you find more challenges, and you will challenge yourself more and more. And you have to get used to challenging yourself. You have to get used to being uncomfortable. When you're in the moment, it won't be comfortable. So, just a heads up warning. You have to take responsibility, so you can't make excuses of why you can't do something that you want to do. Because let me tell you, most of the time, unless your goal is maybe something like, I would like to apparate to the moon in 2 seconds from now, okay, that's probably not a likely realistic goal. But if your goal is to be successful in life, and you really put all your effort into that and are willing to be uncomfortable and don't stop at the first sign of setback, or little failures along the way, most likely you're going to achieve what you want, because you'll be unstoppable if you don't accept the negativity in your life and the disappointment, because you'll have disappointment and you'll have setback, but it's not a failure. A failure is not a failure unless it causes you to quit and to become self-destructive in your thinking and develop more thinking errors. A failure is better thought of as a learning experience along your journey, because if it's something that you really want and it's something worth going for, it's not going to be easy, and you're going to have setbacks as you try and figure out how to get there, including with recovery. And here's a great thing about recovery, is recovery forces you to live in the now. When you really engage in recovery and you really engage in life, it forces you to overcome fears, and that has kind of a ripple effect, that when you start to recover and face those fears, you're going to find new ways to challenge yourself and new ways to build a life, because you have to learn different ways to identify yourself and figure out who you are. And so that is the challenge, my friends, and it really is worth it, but it's very difficult, and it's very painful sometimes, and it's never going to stop being difficult and painful. But what you're going to find is you're going to have these waves, okay? It's going to be really painful, and you're going to sit in it, and you're going to be in the moment, and you're going to say, this really sucks right now. But then you're going to grow from that, and you're going to learn from that, and it'll get better, and then you're going to have the excitement and the fulfillment in life, and your life will feel complete and full, and your relationships will build, and your networking with others will build, and other people will be drawn to you because you emulate what they want, what most people want. But very few people are willing to put forth the energy and effort to get, and that's the bottom line. Is it is complicated in some aspects, because some people have more to overcome, or more social barriers to overcome than others. But there are ways that no matter how hard it is for you, if you're resourceful, you can influence change. And that's part of it, is if you are in a situation where you're oppressed and you can't get to where you want to go, and look at the great people that were blocked from where they wanted to go, but they were determined to get there. Martin Luther King Jr., for example. A roadblock is not an endpoint, and to them, a roadblock is a reason to put on more pressure and emit social change. And that's how change happens, is people that live in the moment, face their fears, are willing to be uncomfortable, and go for what they envision or believe, no matter how difficult it is. And so I'm just going to leave you with that this week, and hope you have a wonderful evening.